It is a chilly day in Fayetteville, Tennessee. A game that doesn't amount to the playoffs, unfortunately, but both of these teams ready to give it their all and give their seniors one last chance at glory to try and get a W. It's the Bowling Green Christian Academy Warriors taking on the Riverside Christian Academy Knights in this Saturday's extreme game of the week, one of three, the final of three. Live here from Fayetteville is Spencer Thompson and Trent Legate. We had some good semis that happened, and Trent, of course, doing his cameraman duties there. So we had a lot of good semis that we saw last week between FCA and CCS. He was at that game, and we're going to talk about that all in the extreme game, or the extreme radio built by MDI Construction tomorrow night. But we're ready for this game. Bowling Green, unfortunately, losing to Lighthouse Christian School early on to knock out their chances of making even the bowl game. Riverside Christian Academy losing all of their games until winning against Hendersonville last Thursday, and then Bowling Green winning against Madisonville last week. So both teams ready to get another W under their belt to try and end out their season well. Now, Trent, we look at both these teams with Bowling Green bias, as always. But of course, with Bowling Green and Riverside, both of these teams have had their struggles through the season. So it's going to be a good game to see between two losing record teams to try and get another W.
Yeah, which Bowling Green, I think they want to end off of with a 4-game win streak. And Riverside, they'll be ending with a 2-game win streak if they come away with the W. But I think both these are both young teams. So you might look for some players that don't get a lot of playing time to get some playing time. Also, that this is their seniors' last game, so they're not going to the All-Star game. But in any case, this is their seniors' last game to be all with each other, playing on the field. You know, we might see some emotions after this game. I would be surprised if we didn't.
Yeah, and we saw some emotions after the end of both semis last night, of course, but this is a lot of emotion, especially with the championship on the line.
I almost cried just watching that.
Yeah, you felt a little bit for the FCA guys last night in your game, and of course we were proud for South Haven making their first franchise appearance in the MTAC Championship, and proud for Christian Community to keep their undefeated season alive as they go into the championship on Saturday, of course. So those semis are going to be good, and the bowl game was good as well, with Swanee getting a victory over Lighthouse, and we'll see how both teams of Riverside and Bowling Green perform, and we'll see that in just a few moments. So the captains for Bowling Green coming to the center of the field. Captains Woosley, Presmeyer, and Bard. Captains for Riverside. It's Baird as the captain. Captains for Riverside, Klein. See the numbers here, Steelman and Thorne. The final coin toss for both of these teams in 2017. We'll see who gets the right side of the coin. Championship's going to be
Riverside has won the toss and
where's the
chosen to
championship
receive.
going to be at, Webb?
Yeah, it's down in Bellwood.
I really want to go, but that's a long drive.
Can watch the stream.
Yeah.
Who won the coin toss?
Oh, who won the coin toss?
Beats me.
Hey, Chad.
Who won the coin toss?
I'm just.
I'd like to remind everybody that tonight's game will, as usual, be followed by a fifth quarter. You're all welcome to join in that.
So the Knights about to run through their banner. It's their homecoming night for Riverside Christian Academy. And there are the Knights. Only with one win on their season. That was to Hendersonville Christian Academy last Thursday. And Bowling Green on a 4-win streak right now, trying to make it 5 to close out their 2017 season. Looks like Trent said the wrong thing in the pregame. It's their 2-game win streak, looking for their 3rd one.
Cocoa or coffee down at the concession stand will help keep you warm. Make sure and give those guys a visit and pick you up something to eat.
So Bowling Green will be kicking off to Riverside. I believe Riverside won the toss and elected to receive. So Riverside gets the ball first on their homecoming night.
Number 18, Riley Davis, will be kicking off for Bowling Green.
Davis isn't here. It's 19, John Stock.
Kicking off for the Knights is number 18. Trying to see his number from the roster. And we're underway here in Riverside's homecoming game. That's Stock kicking off for Bowling Green. Picked up by Riverside's 11, Adam Hamilton. Is brought down at the 19-yard line. The 1st and 10 here for Riverside. Let's look at that starting offense. Number 3, Daniel Hall. Number 11, Adam Hamilton. Number 25, John Trey. And number 27, Marshall Steelman. Number 33, Riley Hall. Number 52, Jonathan Knotts.
The Knights will take over 1st and 10 from their own 21-yard line.
And number 44, that's their starting offense for Riverside. The 1st and 10, ball spotted on the 21-yard line. It's a rush up the middle. Riverside, a slip there just past the line of scrimmage. So number 25, John Train, with the slip. It'll be 2nd down.
A little bit of effects of last night's weather. It was apparent in the RCA Christian Community game, and it looks like it's still here for Riverside and Bowling Green.
Either that or the weather just decided to follow us everywhere we go. So it's 2nd down. Pitch on the left. And here's Trayan again. Go for about a gain of about 2 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 8. It's Trayan being stopped by that defensive line of Bowling Green. Speaking of that defensive line, let's look at the Warriors starting defense. You got number 3, DJ Presmeyer, number 6, Tanner Brown, number 7, Gage Holman, number 9, Timmy Stock, number 16, Cooper Guy, number 19, John Stock, and number 20, Spencer Bard.
Yeah, they're missing a key player in Riley Davis. He's been pretty effective on the end. He was moved there, I think, 2 weeks ago, and he's been dominant in that position.
Here's Trayan with a toss, staying on his feet past the line of scrimmage. Trayan weaving through, manages a slip, unfortunately, getting a gain of several yards on the play. Trayan almost able to get a first down there, just slipping up, so it'll be 4th down and 4.
So the leading tackler right now is the field.
What number is?
The field, unfortunately, playing a factor here. Still a wet field from the storms over Fayetteville last night. Storms all across Middle Tennessee. Not in Bell Buckle until we were leaving the stadium for that semi. Trent and James had to go through all of their rain up in White House. As Riverside punts it away, there's a flag down, and it's stopped at the 44-yard line. But we'll see what the flag is.
No return on Hall's punt. The Warriors will take over on their own 44-yard line.
Looks like they're going to call on this flag, I believe, on Riverside. I believe the flag that was given was a sideline warning for Bowling Green. They were too close to the sideline.
I hear that'll happen a lot.
Yeah, not a lot. You don't see flags really thrown for that either. So it's now 1st and 10 here for the Warriors. This is what Trent's been looking forward to seeing all day.
What?
Bowling Green's offense.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Can't wait to see Gage. I feel like Riverside's going to get a heavy dose of Gage on the ground.
They might possibly. Bowling Green's starting offense, you got number 3, DJ Presmeyer, number 6, Tanner Brown, number 7, Gage Holtman, number 9, Timmy Stock, number 13, David Crow, number 19, John Stock, number 20, Spencer Baird, and number 21, Joel Thomason. There's motion on the play. 2 men on left, receiver in the backfield. Motion, receiver on left and right. It's in the pocket. It's a toss intended on the left side, overthrown. And see the number on his jersey. I believe that is 6, Tanner Brown attempting the pass there. Looked like it was number 8 on the jersey. It's number 6, Tanner Brown with the incomplete pass. 2nd down.
Now we know Coach Brown likes to do a lot of trick plays. Whenever he's going to start early.
I haven't seen a little bit of that with some motion on 1st down. Now even more motion here on 2nd down. You're right about those trick play techniques. It's Brown under center. There's 2 men behind him trying to make sure they get the right play in the playbook. You have to hurry here unless there's going to be a delay of game call. But ball snapped in time. Brown pitch on the right side. Here goes Gage Holman, cutting back inside, cutting back out again, and managing to get a gain of about 5 or 6 yards on the play. So it'll be 2nd down and 4.
Looks like he made a little bit of something out of nothing right there. Looks like he's going to get swallowed up pretty early, but look, cut back into the field and then went back to the sidelines.
Yeah, Gage Holman's really making a name for himself on this season, as Holman, only a sophomore. There's a lot of potential going forward for the Bowling Green Warriors franchise. One of the interesting methods that the Warriors do is that every player, including the linemen, look at the play on their wristbands. They all have a play indications on their wristbands to know exactly how to block and where to go. It's a very interesting method used by Doc Brown, head coach for the Bowling Green Warriors. There's ball snapped, and Brown looking for the pass. Has time across the middle, incomplete, and no flag is thrown. It looked like it could have been pass interference there. It's like number 20, Baird, was tripped up by 33. Riley Hall tripped him up there and not able to catch the pass. So it looked like it was an okay call by the officials because it was an uncatchable pass for him, but does it say that tripping could be called as well?
Yeah, it could, but we're on home turf.
That doesn't always play into it, as Bowling Green is on 4th down and 4. They're going to go for it here on the 49-yard line in Riverside territory. There's Brown in the shotgun, looking for someone to pass to on the right. Scrambling, trying to keep inside, and he does, but it won't be enough for the first down. Well, actually, they will, and they are trying to see where they're going to spot it here.
Waiting on a spot.
And they're just going to call it a turnover on downs. It's 1st and 10 for Riverside.
The Knights will have it 1st and 10 on their own 47.
So we should mention both young teams, and per se. Next year, Bowling Green won't be young. They're going to have I think 5 seniors or something like that. And Riverside, they have a pretty young line. I know they have that one senior on there. But this is an important game for your seniors. This is your last game with your team, just being able to play with each other. So I would be surprised if a lot of seniors got a lot more extra time. I'd be surprised if they didn't get a lot more extra time this game.
Actually, the last time for people to play is Riley Hall going up the middle. Will get a gain of 6 yards on the play for 2nd and 4. Potentially the last time for any seniors to play or any other players to be with their full football family, pending whoever goes to the All-Star game.
And you mentioned Gage being becoming young, making a name for himself. Hall is someone young that's starting to make a name for himself in MTAC.
Yeah, Riley Hall, one of the Riverside players, as a sophomore. Both Gage Holman and Riley Hall sophomores making a name for themselves as it's 2nd and 4. It's a quick pass by Riley Hall on the right side. There goes 11 of the Knights. Might not get the first down there. Adam Hamilton, the senior, managed to get a good reception there as it's now 3rd down and 1.
That must have been a pretty hard pass because Spencer or Baird was able to tip it and they still made it to him. So.
Here's 3rd down and 1. 7 minutes, 25 seconds left to go in the first quarter. It's an I formation. Riley Hall immediately met. That's 10 of the Warriors. Duncan Woosley immediately on to Riley Hall there to force 4th down.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to see Riverside keep it on the ground a lot with Hall. He's been a dominant runner, as we saw in that Sewanee game. He was pretty much the only piece that was making any movement. I'm sure they're going to pepper in their senior, Trey Han, in there. I saw his brother is here somewhere, and so this is a big game for Riverside.
4th down and 2. It looks like the Knights will go for it on 4th down, but they're going to be brought back. A false start.
Flag on
the offensive line, so they'll move it back 5 yards. Trying to see which lineman it was for Riverside. It looked like it may have been Hamilton. I believe they called that on Adam Hamilton, so now 4th down and 7. So this will force Riverside to punt it away. And they're going to go for it here. Riley Hall on the left side being chased by the Warriors. Immediately met, but he's going to be stopped short. Big move by Riley Davis to keep the... Actually, let's see, that was 19 John Stock. The difficult thing about the jerseys at the 9 when it's squished there, it looks like an 8. But Riley Davis making the big stop, and it's a turnover on downs.
That was John. Riley Davis is not present on this game.
Okay, was John Stock.
You can tell Stock because he has the blue long sleeves.
Yeah, the
Help
jersey.
you out there.
The jersey's just a little bit confusing there, as they usually are. No.
Well, like I told you in past on the show, I believe Stock is the best middle linebacker in the MTAC this year.
So here's 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Motion on the play. Just hand it off. Here's 7. Gage Holman going on the left side. Gage Holman has an opening, and Gage Holman is stopped at the 24-yard line. Adam Hamilton preventing the touchdown.
That was a good run, good solid run. I know he has off that first step. If he finds his hole, he's going to go through it, and he's going to get a lot more yards when he gets through it.
And Gage Holman, again, a sophomore, making a huge name for himself, not just in this game, but through the rest of the season on his stats. Potentially Gage Holman. could be very well in the next season. 6 minutes and winding down left in the first quarter. The ball is handed off, a little bit bobbled there as Gage Holman again pushing through, pushing the defensive line for a gain of about 7 yards on the play for a 2nd and 3.
Not known as a power back, but showing that he has that in him. He's more known as a speed back, and if he's going to get down there and meet you head on. So they got a full package like Buchanan is for SCA is Gage's for Bowling Green.
We'll see if Buchanan can lead FCA to a 3rd-place victory in the consolation game next Saturday against the Webb Schools. Holman again, this time the Riverside defense able to stop his rush. He will have a loss of about 2 yards on the play for a 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, that's a good stop really about the big guys up front, which we know Riverside has a lot of big guys on their team. No, making Riverside think that we can stop Gage. So.
Third and 5 for the Warriors. Man to the right of Brown. Motion on the play. There's Tanner Brown. He's going to hand it off again. Gage Holman on the edge, and Gage Holman cuts inside for the touchdown. Good maneuvering to keep Riley Davis from the tackle, and a 6 points on the board for the Warriors.
Wiggle sticks, as if you play video games, that's what we call it. He just, did that little step back, and here went that guy past him, and then just walked in.
Perfectly anticipating Riley Hall trying to tackle him there. Manages to get into the end zone. Riverside unable to make the defensive stop.
He's a stud at baseball too.
Here's the 2-point conversion attempt for the Warriors. And the 2-point conversion is no good. 6-0 the score with 4 minutes 30 seconds left to go in the first quarter. The Warriors strike first blood on Riverside's homecoming night.
Score. What's the score now?
No, it's 6-0 with 4 minutes 30 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
Just gotta make sure James knows it.
Yeah, so James doesn't get, upset as Riverside receives the kickoff. Here's number 9 of Riverside, met at the 37-yard line. That's Marcus Whitworth, a freshman. And Riverside is back on offense. Here's Riverside on offense. Ball snapped. Rush up the middle by Riley Hall. He's got room to the 43-yard line. John Stock able to make the tackle. So it's now 2nd down and 5.
I think Riley Hall is going to be Riley Hall's going to be the big presence for the up front. Just going to probably just pound it. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they just kept on just running the ball up the middle with Hall, because I'm telling you, Hall's going to be something in a couple of years. And he's already something.
Yeah, he's already something in his sophomore year, and he has 2 more years of 8-man football to try and make a name for himself, as they don't rush it to Hall this time. He gives the handoff. There's John Stock again on the tackle. It was number 25 of the Knights, John Trahan, trying to make the rush up the middle, as it's now 3rd down and 2.
You just got to have a big push from your offensive line. You got to have that senior leadership, senior lineman on there, just to really get it with his guys and tell them we got to pull this out. You know, end our year with a 2-win streak.
Yeah, Riverside wanting their 2-win streak, and Bowling Green wanting their 3-win streak going into the end of the season. A 1st down and more. John Trahan pushing through the defense to the 40-yard line is where they'll spot it. It's a good move by John Trahan for the Knights' 1st down.
You could have ran an elephant through that, how big that hole was. The Bowling Green's defensive lineman got to get in there.
The most interesting analogies I've heard you use on broadcast, man. Save those for the championship, Trent.
I mean, or you drive a semi or something. That hole was huge.
1st and 10 for Riverside. All on the 40-yard line in Warriors territory. Motion on the play. Hall pitches it. There's Thomas rushing through. Thomas. Actually, that's Nathan Klein, number 5, taking the rush there. It's now 2nd down and 8.
It looks like I've been only speaking about Bowling Green, I feel like, but that was John Stock on that tackle again. He probably already has like 5 tackles already. 2nd series or 3rd series. I mean, he's everywhere.
John Stock making a tackle at least 4 or 5 so far in this Riverside drive. Part of the reason why they haven't been able to get to the end zone so far is Riley Hall trying to find an opening, and he's going to be pushed back, staying on his feet. Getting a gain of several yards on the play to the 44-yard line. Riley Hall going into a crowd of Warriors players there, but still managing to get a positive gain on the play.
I'm telling you, he's probably going to turn into maybe even a better version of Holcomb last year. If he keeps on pushing himself to improve, he's going to be pretty dominant next year. I mean, maybe the best running back in the league next year.
Potentially, as it's now 3rd down and it looks like 3rd down and 6, maybe 3rd down and 5, as Hall in the shotgun tosses it on the right side, overthrown, intended for Adam Hamilton. That'll bring it to 4th down.
It'll be interesting next year to see if Riverside keeps Hall at quarterback, or once their guys that aren't out right now, they get back in. I don't know who it is, but I wonder if they're going to try to replace Hall. Because, you know, the more you use them just running the ball, the better, I feel like.
4th down and 6 here for the Knights. Looks like they're going to go for it this close in Riverside territory in Warrior territory on the 36-yard line. 4th down and 6. Here's Hall with the high snap, goes off of his helmet there, tosses it on the right side, incomplete, intended for John Trahan. Look, if he had caught that, he would have had an opening to get the 1st down, and unfortunately misses it as it's now a turnover on downs and the Warriors take over.
If he caught that, that would have been a touchdown, not a 1st down. That's just some plays you got to make. I mean, Hall, kind of questionable, kind of just chucking it, didn't want to get the yards of loss. I mean, if that would have picked off, that would have been a pick 6 for sure. But
it's a lot of open field on the right side for both teams. An interesting move made by Riverside as now the Warriors take over on 1st and 10. It's decent field advantage on their own 36-yard line. Brown alone in the shotgun, motion again on the play. Looks like there's going to be a rush here, maybe to the right. Here's Brown. Looks for the toss. Tosses it on the right side. Still inbound. Staying into about the 40-yard line. That's Riley Davis with the reception.
It's
John Stock
Here,
making a big play there.
Favor.
Yeah, mark that out on the roster. This is the last time we're going to be using this roster.
Just
here.
don't say Raleigh anymore. That's for Hall.
It's not here.
Yeah, Riley Davis not present at today's game.
You're saying Raleigh Davis made a good play right now.
John Stock able to make the reception to now 2nd down and 6. Here we have 30 seconds left in the first quarter. 2nd and 6. Warriors like to take their time before they snap the ball, and it looks like it's going to be delay of game there. So we'll move it back 5 yards to a 2nd and 11.
You know, you don't, unless they're introducing new plays or new and not familiar with other guys, there ain't no reason to have a delayed game this late in the season. Like, literally, this late in the season, this is your last game. You should have this down pat. Making me use my camera.
My hands are occupied. "17 seconds left in the first quarter. Motion on the play. Brown fakes the handoff, looking for the pass. Open on the right side. There's 20. Spencer Baird tries the stiff arm. It's successful, and Spencer Baird rushing to the end zone. Touchdown, Warriors.
Brown throws to a wide open Baird, who evades a couple of times.
And I'm telling you, I bet you Spencer Baird surprises a lot of people, because if you look at him like that, you don't expect something like that, where him just to shed a tackle and keep on going. You look at him being like one of the people that just get hit and goes down. And then that speed surprises you as well. So
It's a 12-0 lead now for the Warriors. Just 2.8 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
Oh.
Is Riverside trying to have some more defense on their side. 2-point conversion attempt here for Bowling Green to make it 14-0. Motion. Here's Brown on the left side. Incomplete. Ball tipped, intended. Trying to. Looks like it was DJ Presemeyer on the intended reception. But it's now 12-0 with 2.8 seconds left to go in the first quarter. The Warriors lead the Knights. There's an onside kick picked up. That's picked up by Riverside's Nathan Klein, and that's the end of the first quarter, 12-0. The Warriors lead the Knights this extreme game of the week.
Fourth grade. The best man to his kindergarten class. Congratulations. Those two classes.
Start of the second quarter. It's 12-0. Bowling Green leading over Riverside. Here's a handoff. Klein going up the middle. Nathan Klein going up the middle, and it's now 2nd down and 4, and we have an injured player for the Warriors. Trying to see which number that is there. It might be Timmy Stock. Can't see which number that is on the field, but is it Timmy? Is it Timmy Stock?
Timmy. It's Duncan, the senior.
Okay, no, all right. So Duncan, unfortunately, injured there. Where the heck, Duncan Woosley down on the field?
And actually,
Why do you have the camera angled up there?
Because the moonlight.
That's not a moonlight. That's a spotlight.
Interesting thing about Duncan, he had a concussion. This is only his 2nd week back. He's missed like 3 weeks of his senior season. So hopefully he's not hurt. He can play his last game.
Looks like he just patted his head as he was walking to the sideline. So it may be that concussion coming back up. So he'll head to the sideline.
Mushroom hat.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's a mushroom, that mushroom hat, as we call it.
I mean, we got a guy right here that had like 18 concussions or something.
18 concussion. That's probably 3 cases of CTE, maybe, if the math, my math is correct on that. Here's 2nd and 6. 2nd and 4, Riverside going through the middle. There's John Trahan weaving through and trying to push the defense. He's still pushing the pile. It's still active. It's a scrum as if it's rugby going on the field right now. Riley Hall for the 1st down and more. To the 20. That's Jared Trahan on the rush. 1st down and more on the 29-yard line. Jared Trahan. Looked like it was a rugby scrum. Trent, it looked like it was a rugby scrum there, just managing to push the pile completely. The refs just let it happen.
Well, I mean, when you got that size of a line, that should be happening almost every play.
And we haven't been seeing that as much as anybody would like to. Good for Trahan to be able to push the pile. It's a rush up the middle, instant toss to Klein. Maybe a gain of 2 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Interesting, a bit of a fullback dive. It looks like he literally just dived as soon as he got past the line.
May have gotten tripped up by the OL of the Warriors.
The one thing you can be sure of, though, Mr. Creasy over there. Wait, that's right.
Yes, it's Travis Creasy.
He knows what he's doing over there.
Here's 2nd down and 8. Here's up the middle, open field for Riverside. Riley Hall with the rush to the 10-yard line. It's 1st down and goal. Riley Hall weaving through and finding an opening.
I'm telling you, Riley Hall's going to be next year. Just expect his name to be brought up a lot during the show.
Here's 1st and goal for Riverside, trying to get their first score of the game here in the 2nd quarter. And here's a rush up the middle, and flag is thrown. For now, it's a touchdown. That was Nathan Klein on the rush, but we'll await the penalty. Touchdown for now. We'll wait to see what the official rules here. It's thrown in the end zone. It's a holding call on the offense, so they will bring this back. No, it's still 1st and goal, but good effort by Nathan Klein to get into the end zone, regardless of the penalty avoiding it.
Yeah, great effort. I mean, if without that holding, it just sometimes holding's called, sometimes it's not. So I'm sure that ain't the first time they've done holding. It just probably hasn't been called yet. But you can't, tear yourself down with that call because you know you can get in there because you pretty much just did. Where?
Here's 1st and goal on the 17-yard line. Ball snapped, and there's an intercepted at the line. and he could go all the way. Baird with a pick six. No flags. Touchdown Warriors. Spencer Baird intercepting it. There actually is a flag back at the 40-yard line. That would be terrible if it were voided for the pick six, and it looked like it was on the Warriors sideline.
Flag is or flag not. That was an incredible catch and interception at the D-line spot.
Spencer Baird, it perfectly anticipating the interception there. Riley Hall just trying a quick pass on the right side and unfortunately not able to do it.
Interesting. I want to see what this call is because I didn't see any blocking the backs from where I was looking. But I was looking more at Baird.
Let's see what the official calls here. It is a touchdown. It's a sideline infraction on the Warriors. It's a 5-yard penalty that I believe they will enforce here on.
The touchdown will stand.
They will force the 5-yard penalty here on the 2-point conversion attempt. Trying to see if they will actually.
They might do it on the kickoff.
Yeah, that looks like they're going to enforce that penalty on the kickoff, but a pick six for Spencer Baird. Baird, sorry.
It's all right. You'll get it.
I'll get it eventually. It's not like it's the last game or anything.
One thing I want to mention, though, on FCA and CCS, whenever flags happen, they moved it back before the kickoff. They, like, one happened during the play, and they just redid the second down and just brought it back 10 yards.
And they did enforce the 5-yard penalty here on the 2-point conversion attempt, which Bowling Green has not made a 2-point conversion in this game so far. So we'll see if they're able to make it here.
But that was an insane interception by Spencer Baird, though.
Again, Spencer Baird, one of the players from the Warriors who will make a name for himself on this season, and hopefully next season he will continue to improve. Unfortunately, Spencer Baird can't because he's a senior. At least he's made his name on this season as the 2-point conversion is good. That's Gage Holman in for the 2-point conversion, the first one made by the Warriors tonight. It's 20-0 with 9:28 left to go in the second quarter. The Warriors dominating in Fayetteville. Onside kick recovered by Riverside, and here's number 60 of the Knights rushing it forward to the 37-yard line. Riverside with good field advantage in Warrior territory. That was picked up. I believe they got that by 60. Is it Gus Hill, I believe that was?
That was number 60 they got. I don't know about how many yards he got or whatnot, but it was an onside kick, is what I know.
It was Gus Holman, at least with what we have on the roster here for Max Preps for Riverside, is that is Gus Hill.
60 is Spiegel.
All right, 60 is actually Spiegel. And John Spiegel managed to recover the onside kick and rush it Very reasonable amount is John Trahan trying to spin through. Will he push the pile? Again, the referees will stop it here on the 45-yard line. So a gain of about 1 yard on the play. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Stop talking about mushrooms. That's what I'm on right now. You got like a leak of air. I'm just hoping you.
2nd and 9. Here's Hall in the backfield. Gets sacked. Brought down for a huge loss. That's number 16, Cooper Guy, the sophomore, with the sack. 3rd and 15.
You got a lot of guys on this field right now that are probably going to make names for themselves next season. One guy being Cooper. You know, you don't really hear Lyman that much, but I'm telling you, he's going to be somebody that you remember after every game.
8 minutes left to go before halftime. Riverside on 3rd and 15, trying to get a first down here in Warriors territory. As here's Trahan trying to find space, instantly met and brought down for a loss. Chas Brassel tackling him for a loss of several yards on the play, but will actually spot it a few yards forward on the progress. So 4th down and 13. So 4th down and 13. Wait.
That's Tanner. Tanner's number 6. It's alright. It's alright.
Look like him.
He's right there.
Here's 4th down. Riverside going to go for it here. A timeout called by the Warriors. 7:02 left to go before halftime. It's a 20-0 lead for Bowling Green.
Be sure and check out the business signs that we have along the field.
Fourth down attempt by Hall, deep in the shotgun, toss to Trahan. Trahan with the reception, trying to stay on his feet, will not make the first down. Stopped at the 28-yard line, and the Warriors will take over.
If you want to make a play happen, if you're Riverside, you get it in Trahan's hands. He had the chance, but when you meet who was it that had that tackle?
Didn't see who had the tackle on that play. It looked like it was, but Trahan did receive the ball up to the 28-yard line.
Well, if it was John, as the Bowling Green Statman just said, then it's hard to beat one-on-one against John.
So now 1st and 10 for the Warriors. 6:51 left to go before halftime. And here's a pitch back. It's a flea flicker as Brown tosses it on the left side, and he's caught, recepted by Gage Holman, and he loses the football. And it's recovered by the Knights. Another reception. It's Gage Holman on the reception, but unfortunately just can't secure the ball, and Riverside has it back in Warrior territory.
Yeah, and, some coaches are going to be some coaches will be upset that he tried to cut, make some more things happen rather than just running straight. I really, he made it look like he was returning a kick, but maybe next time he'll just run straight.
The Riverside has another offensive drive after the turnover. 1st and 10, pitch to Trahan. Trahan up the middle, trying to find some space. Trahan pushing through forward progress at the 44-yard line. 2nd down and 6.
But that ground's cold, being wet.
Yeah, the field here at Knights Stadium still muddy from the storms that occurred last night.
Yeah, I got some mud on my shoes. What's going on?
First world problems, mud on your shoes, right? 2nd down and 6. I formation is Hall under center. Hands it up, ball lost and fallen on by, it looks like, the Warriors. And they'll turn it over, and it was fallen on by it. That was 3, DJ Prezemeyer, who fell on the ball. Another turnover.
They're just trading, I guess. Maybe Riverside didn't like the look of their plays and the look of their drive, so they just want to let them have it.
Well, it's two turnovers in a row.
Or they're playing hot potato.
It's possible. Should play hot potato in this cold weather. That's actually a good idea. 5:40 left to go in the second quarter as the Warriors lead 20-0. Ball's on the 40-yard line. The Warriors lose the ball. It's fallen on by Brown. Could have been another turnover there. It's now 2nd down and 11.
Looks like he might be a little sick over there.
Looks like David Crow, it looks like, is going.
You saw him throwing up in the no liquid trash can.
Looks like David Crow heading to the locker room, just a little bit sick on the Warriors side of the field. It's now 2nd down and 11. There's a pitch on the left. Gage Holman loses the ball out of bounds and splashed on the end zone, the puddle over there. So Gage Holman will have a lot more dirt on his jersey.
Probably the person most upset about that play is his mom.
No, she has Tide. She'll be fine. It cleans all stains. We're not endorsed by Tide.
Well,
we should be. We can be. Email 8manextreme@gmail to sponsor our extreme games of the week. As it's 3rd down and 6.
You could just have the show.
Yeah. 3rd down and 6 for the Warriors.
You can put your face instead of Mr. Clean Guy.
have me like in the white shirt, like looking ripped as Tanner Brown will get the 1st down and more. Stepped out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Another 1st down for Bowling Green. 4:45 left to go in the second quarter.
This first half of the season, Tanner looked like he wasn't going to be doing that great, and they might have to look to replace him. But this last half of the season, he's really showed that he wants to stay at the quarterback position and play his senior year. And he's improved a lot since the last time we saw him against Henderson. No, against Sewanee.
Here's 1st and 10 on the 46-yard line. Motion on the play for the Warriors. Ball snapped. Fake hand. Actually, it is handed off. There's Gage Holman. Will get the 1st down. Spotted at the 34-yard line. Another 1st and 10 for the Warriors.
Just jumped over stock right there. Like, get out of my way.
We, of course, have seen some of the players here. We have seen opponent teams jump over Riverside players here, including Braden Holcomb's hurdle as of 2 years ago here from Riverside. You've seen other players do some hurdles, more particularly at Riverside. There's Stock going up the middle. Gain of about 2 yards on the play, 2nd and 8.
Well, you know, we should just mention some some all-stars from last year. You had Stock and Spencer out there. Pretty sure those are the only 2 present on the field, unless I'm missing somebody from Riverside. I don't know.
Was Riley Hall at the All-Star game last year?
No.
Okay, it wasn't Hall. I think Trahan was it last year? Jared Trahan?
I know the other Trahan was.
Yeah, it's Jared Trahan, who I think who was there last year potentially. See how it goes. And there's it's 2nd and 8. Motion again. Handoff. There's Holman on the left. Holman behind the line of scrimmage. They've spotted the ball at the 35-yard line. It's 3rd down and 10. Actually, they'll wait.
A yard on that play. I'm not sure.
Actually, it looked like may have lost a yard there. It's 3rd down and 7. Okay, the down indicator just wasn't moved there, so it is 3rd down and 10.
That's why I was saying that, because I saw that.
So we got a note here that John Trahan replaced Jackson Dotter last minute for the All-Star game last year.
Oh, there you go.
So it was John Trahan who was in the All-Star game last year from Riverside. It's a high snap fake, and Tanner Brown looking for the pass on the right side, overthrown. That was an interesting choice there. It was intended for Baird. It's now 4th and 10. We'll likely see the Warriors go for it here.
And we should mention about they've had some pretty high snaps, and I know Joel is their center. Their starting senior of the year had a couple concussions, so he wasn't able to finish it out. But Joel this is his first year at center, so he got to get in motion. I don't know. Don't know how you fix a high snap.
And we'll see. Now, we've seen a lot of high snaps and muff snaps throughout the season of 8-man football. It seems to be a trend as Brown scrambling around. He's going to toss on the left side, intended for Holman, incomplete. Then it'll be a turnover on downs. Riverside takes over with 3:04 left to go in the 2nd quarter. It's a 20-0 lead for the Warriors.
Yeah, it looks like Warriors ain't making a lot happen on the offensive side. Maybe they'll change about it. You know, Riverside, they need to make a big stand right here, get in the end zone. You know, eat up as much clock as you can, but also finish it in the end zone.
And it's only the 2nd quarter, so Riverside could make it back here, but just having some unfortunate struggles and unable to get any points on the board thus far in the first half. Here's Riley Hall, low snap, and Riley Hall's just going to take it up the middle. They'll spot him for forward progress for a yard gain. That's 2nd and 10. Second down and 9. Time called by the Knights with 2:30 left to go in the first half.
2:30 to go in the 2nd quarter.
20-0 Warriors.
And we're back. Yeah.
2 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in the 2nd quarter. It's a 20-0 lead for the Warriors over Riverside. Another high snap. Riley Hall scrambling around in the pocket. He's going to be brought down for a sack. 3rd down and 15 for the Knights.
It looks like, oh, I think they sent a blitz. I'm sorry, not sure, but good job, good pressure for the D-line. You know, they don't got a huge D-line, but they got a fast D-line.
We got some speed within their players on Warriors defense. Riverside unable to cope with that.
They're missing a key player on their defense in Riley Davis. So. And off.
Yeah, Riley Davis is missing there. 3rd down and 14. Here's Hall going to take it up the middle. It's a rush-heavy game for the Riverside Knights as Riley Hall gets it up to the 40-yard line, 4th and 5. Fourth and 5. Looks like Riverside is going to punt it away here. Maybe one of those high snaps and Riley Hall will just rush with it. It's low and he is going to punt it away. Almost blocked. And they do not call it for roughing the kicker there. It looked like it could have been. It's spotted at the 29-yard line. The Warriors take possession. So I believe the rule may be with MTAC rules is that if the ball hits the ground before the punter kicks it away, that they can try to tackle the kicker.
As a varsity punter, I have felt that thing you just said, because I punted away plenty of times and gotten rocked just immediately.
You were a varsity punter? I didn't know that.
Yeah, my sophomore year, I was a starting punter.
Oh, that's awesome.
Then I got fat.
That means you just have more force behind the ball when you punt it.
Yeah.
1st and 10 for the Warriors. Tanner Brown scrambling around, toss across the middle. It is caught. That's a reception by Baird. He's 41-yard line. Looks like he's knocked out of bounds. The officials will spot it at the 42-yard line. It's a 1st and 10 with 48 seconds left to go in the 2nd quarter. The Warriors may try to get one more touchdown here.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Warriors use all their timeouts on this offensive drive.
Yeah, I wouldn't be either. First and 10 for the Warriors as the clock, they rule him out of bounds. Clock stopped at 48.7 seconds. Brown scrambling around in the pocket. Looks like he's just going to take the rush here on the outside. It's out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. And that'll stop the clock. 37.5 left.
Who Tanner reminds me of?
No, I don't.
Alex Smith or Kirk Cousins. You know, someone that likes to stay in the pocket, but if they have to run out, they will.
Maybe a little bit like Cam Newton as well. He has some rushing touchdowns. Not that fast.
The reason why I say them too is because they're not as fast.
Well, at least your Bowling Green bias can be honest. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Here's 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Ball's on the 30-yard line in Knights territory. Ball snapped. Brown tosses it on the left side for Baird. It's caught, and Baird trying to stay up, but tackled. Stopped for the touchdown by Riverside's Daniel Hall.
Sorry. Little skinny number 3, Daniel.
Daniel Hall making the stop of the touchdown there. 27 seconds left, and they'll start the clock here for the Warriors, trying to get one more touchdown in. Clock winding down. Motion. Brown hands it off. There's Gage Holman on the right side. Gage Holman weaves in, and he's in for the touchdown.
Making people miss left and right. That's what Gage will do to you.
So another 6 on the board for the Warriors. won't quite enact the mercy rule yet as they go into the second half, but looking to try and do that as they go forward.
And this offense has been all Spencer and Gage. Like right there, that was all pretty much Tanner, Gage, and Spencer. But I mean, you know, linemen, they do their thing.
So 7.1 seconds left to go in the second quarter. 2-point conversion attempt going up here. If they've only made one 2-point conversion and struggle in the 2-point conversion is no good. John Stock getting the reception but unable to go forward as there's a Riverside player slow to get up. That's Trayan. 7.1 seconds left to go. So we're in the second quarter.
Wow.
7.1 seconds left to go until the end of the first half. The Warriors lead 26-0. A chilly night here in Fayetteville for Riverside's homecoming game. A lot of fans having blankets all huddled up. As an onside kick here for the Warriors, and a little bit loose but picked up by Riverside. And it's like they're trying to push it through. They took several seconds off of the clock there. 2.8 seconds left.
Hall's one of those people that you have to get about 3 hats on to bring him down. Unless you tackle him low.
So the Knights will have one more play here before halftime, and Trent and I will try to analyze what we've seen and make a little bit of sense of it. And then, well, get some warmth is the important thing. It is cold here in Fayetteville. Looks like the last play of the half for Riverside. It's a rush by Klein, and that's the end of the first half. The Warriors lead the Knights 26-0. And we will go ahead and do our analysis here in just a few moments. Switch around that camera, Trent. All right, so Spencer Thompson and Trent Legate, 26-0 at the end of the first half. The Warriors dominating the Knights. Now, Trent, it's a very much one-sided game from what we've seen so far, but what can the Knights improve on to try and get some score on the board here going into the second half?
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard for me to say this because as a senior, I want the seniors to play as much ball as they can. But they got to start letting their younger guys play, the ones that are going to be there next year for them. So you got to start letting them play because it's your last chance until next season that you actually get to go over some new plays, look at what you got, look at what people you got coming up in the ranks. And Bowling Green, I wouldn't be surprised if they start letting all their younger guys start playing because with this lead, I want to see why you wouldn't.
Yeah, and Bowling Green, the question for them is as a coach, if you're Doc Brown and you're talking to your players in the halftime, do you try to enact that mercy rule before you start letting the younger guys come into the game?
Well, I know Coach Brown. He's a very smart, intelligent football coach, and when he sees it's the right time, he'll let them play. He might not let them play as much, but because Coach Brown's also one of them guys that like to keep the foot on the gas a little bit, as we see at Massey scores.
Yeah, you're very much right on that.
But I wouldn't be surprised if you let some of those younger guys play that need some little bit more extra playing time. Maybe if anything, to get their confidence up to come back and play next year, because not everybody comes back some guys might quit and not come back next year. So it might boost your confidence up being the last game for some of the guys. But, you got to let your seniors play their last game.
10 minutes left until the start of the second half. The Warriors lead 26-0. So we will be back in just a few moments. You're watching the Extreme Game of the Week, the third final Extreme Game of the Week.